Hey there friends, it's Marie here and I am playing with a bunch of Scrapbook.com goodies today to make some cards in celebration of World Card Making Day. Now if you're excited to see these cards being made, make sure you tap that thumbs up, make sure you subscribe, like, share, just do all the things and let's get started. So I have some of the new Scrapbook.com Smart Craft Glue. Now this is glue that you can use just to go ahead and glue your paper and your pieces together like you would normally, or you can also use it to do some foiling, and that's what I'm going to be doing today. I'm using this glue along with the new mint tape. Now this is kind of like a post-it note almost. You can write on this. It's re-stickable, so you can take it off and move it around and stick it again. And I find that it's really easy to work with, really great for masking off areas to ink blend, and that's what I'm going to be doing. So I'm opening a pack of these flat card fronts here. This is Nina Solar White paper, and you can buy these already pre-cut from Scrapbook.com. So I'm getting one out here and I'm just going to mask off areas and make a really fun color block background. Now, if you follow my channel over at Nicole Designs, you know that I've done this technique in the past, and it's a really simple technique, easy to do. It just requires some tape and some ink, and you can mask off different designs, use different colors, and really change up your look. So what I'm doing here is I'm just masking off some different angles using my hybrid ink from Scrapbook.com. This is their sky blue, and it's in one of their blue groups. So what they've done with their ink is really kind of handy. They've grouped them into color families, and they put on their ink pad what number it is. So say they have numbers 1 through 4 of blue inks. You can use those numbers to go ahead and layer your inks together. You can know which ones are in the same color family for layering stamps, and I find that really handy. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and mask off some more different sections for my card front. I'm reusing some of my tape so that I can just get more uses out of it. And I want to go ahead and move that tape that I had masking off my blue area, shift it up a little bit to cover that blue so that I can have where the edge of the blue meets my next color block, just a really straight, even close block so that they're touching each other, but I'm not letting those colors mix. So I'm grabbing my pink flamingo and taking my ink blending tool from Scrapbook.com, and I'm just going to blend this pink onto my next block of color. Now, if you're looking for different inspiration for color block designs, you can always go onto the internet, go to Pinterest or any of those different apps or sites, and just type in color block or color block art, and you'll get a lot of different ideas popping up. Sometimes I like to kind of try to recreate someone's art or design onto my card, and I find that to be really fun, and change up the different colors and everything, just to kind of make it my own. So translating some of those color block designs onto a card is a really fun and easy idea if you're looking for some bright, colorful cards. Now I'm just going to move this bottom piece of tape here and cover up that line of pink, and I'm going to bring in another color. So again, I'm just reusing this piece of tape, moving it, aligning it with that bottom edge there of that pink color block. And I'm bringing in some Candy Shop Pink hybrid ink. And this is in the same color family as that flamingo, but it's going to be a little bit darker. So I'm going to get 2 shades of pink on this card, and I really love how it turned out. Now, these are some bright, sort of party kind of colors is what I like to think of them as, but you can change up the colors, make sort of a fall themed color block card, do Christmas, that would be really fun, and just kind of change it up to be colors that anyone would like, or if you have a certain person in mind, change up the colors to make them happy if you're sending them this card. So I'm going to go ahead and just peel off all of this mint tape. Now you can set it aside and use it again if you want to. This is a really easy tape to use. It's re-stickable, so you can stick it on other cards and different things. And here is my color block background. Now I'm going to leave that one chunk of triangle over there white, and I'm going to add some foiled details. Like I mentioned before, that smart glue from Scrapbook.com is really great for adding some foiled details and foiling your cards and your die cuts, and it's really fun to play with. So I'm going to go ahead and mask off another triangle area onto my card, and after using this tape several times, sometimes when your ink isn't completely dry, it does like to peel up a little bit. Sticks a little bit better if that ink is completely dry, but with kids running around the house, I was trying to get this card done fairly quickly, so I wasn't going to wait for the ink to dry. So I just kind of stuck that tape down a little bit with another piece of tape, and that works perfectly fine too. So I'm just adding a little bit of glue to this triangle area by just kind of squeezing a little bit of glue onto my finger, and I'm just applying it with my finger. Now if you want to, you can get a special foam pad if you want to apply it with that, or a brush. I will say you're going to want to wash those out if you're wanting to use them again, because when this glue dries, it glues tacky, and if you want to wash out your brush and use it again, wash it out right away before it dries tacky on your brush. Otherwise, my finger works perfectly fine. I can always go wash that in the sink or with a baby wipe, and it works great. So now with all of my glue applied, I'm just going to go ahead and peel off some of this mint tape here, and you can kind of faintly see where that glue has been applied. I'm going to let it dry for just a second so it can get tacky. As this glue dries, it does dry tacky, so you can go ahead and add embellishments and foil over it and use it with your laminator to foil. So I'm using some of Decofoil's Shattered Glass in their gold color, adding a piece over that foil, and I ran it through my laminator just how you would regular foil, and it foils really well. Now I did get a little bit of glue that seeped under some of that mint tape, so there's one edge there that's not perfectly straight, but once I get the sentiment and things on this card front, you're not even going to notice. So that is card number 1 with a little bit of foiling. I'm going to go ahead and make a few more cards. Now this is going to be another color block kind of theme, but I'm not using angles to make triangles or anything. I'm just going to kind of block off different sections of my card and just use kind of straight lines. So if you don't want to get crazy with triangles and geometry and all that, you can definitely just block off a straight line and ink blend that way. I'm using some Scrapbook.com Deep Sea Hybrid ink. This is a really sort of a deep cyan color. I find it to be really pretty and I love it on my cards. So I'm going to go ahead and fill up this whole bottom of my card with this color. Now it might take a little while to fill large areas with ink blending, so just take your time, make sure you blend over there. You might want to go ahead and do a few layers to kind of smooth it out. And once I got all of my ink on there, I'm just going to gently peel away that tape, and I'm going to apply it again, shift it down, cover up the top of that color there, and then just make sure I've got a nice straight line where I can ink blend my next section. I do really love my glass mat behind my ink blending, so I can use those lines to kind of make sure everything is straight and lined up. Use my grid back there, and I'm using another piece of mint tape to mask off a skinnier stripe. Now I'm going to add some more of my pink, and this time, to save a little bit of time, I'm not actually going to ink blend with my ink blending tool. I'm going to take my ink pad and apply it directly to my paper. I'm going to rub it in there, make sure I get a really nice bold application of this color, and make sure I get it right up to those lines of the tape. And then just to kind of smooth out that color a little bit, I am going to go over it just a little bit with my ink blending tool. But this is a way to kind of add that color a little bit faster if you don't want to sit there and ink blend all day. So with my color applied, I'm just gonna peel off that mint tape, and my design with my ink blended background is all done. I think it's really fun, really nice with that dark blue with that lighter pink. And we're gonna go ahead and add some more foiled details. This time I'm going to squirt my smart glue right onto my glass mat, and I'm actually using the eraser from a pencil to just make some dots. Now this pencil eraser has been used, so these dots are not going to be perfectly round, but I really like that because it gives you sort of more of an organic look, some more wonky little dots here, and it's going to give me a really fun polka dot background. Now some of these dots do have a lot of glue on them, so I am going to let this dry a little bit so that glue can get really tacky and it won't smush when I put my foil over the top. So just be aware of how much glue you're applying and kind of let it dry a little bit if you have a lot in one spot. Once I have my glue all on there, I am going to clean up the glue on my craft mat, clean off the glue from my eraser, let that dry a little bit, and then I went ahead and I ran it through my laminator with my foil. This time I'm using just a plain gold foil, and I love how this turned out. I love how that eraser made some bigger dots and some smaller dots, and it really adds to this background. I think it looks really fabulous. Now I have one more card background that I'm going to show you, and I'm actually using the negative from the polka dot foil that I just did. I'm going to go ahead and add some of this smart glue all onto my card front. So you can see there I've masked off a square in the bottom corner, and I'm just adding a lot of smart glue with my finger. Gonna let that get a little bit tacky, and then I'm going to use that polka dot foil, the negative piece that I pulled off of our previous background, and I'm just going to stick that right over the top. Now I did have a little bit of trouble pulling up my mint tape after I put it through the laminator, so I would suggest if you want to do this technique, maybe remove that tape before putting it through the laminator, because it did stick to my background just a little bit. But after I've foiled these backgrounds, here are my 3 color block backgrounds. I think they're really fabulous, and I'm going to go ahead and add some custom sentiments onto these cards. Now, Scrapbook.com has a lot of different word dies. They've got some of these scripty fonts that are more of a cursive or handwritten kind of theme, and then they have these alphabet dies. Now, I have different styles of these alphabet dies, and I store them in these really large Scrapbook.com envelopes. They're fantastic for it. They fit perfectly. I just cut the top of the packaging off and slip it in there with them so I know the name of those alphabet letters. And I just went ahead and cut out some different letters and words to build my sentiment. I'm going to kind of mix and match with the alphabet dies and the word die and build a sentiment. So this first card is going to say, "You inspire me," and you can see here I used the bold basic alphabet dies, and I used the word inspire from that inspire word die set. Now I've cut these all out of white cardstock, but if you want to cut it out of white cardstock and then add some color, you can go ahead and just ink blend some of that hybrid ink right onto your word and your alphabet dies and color that sentiment. So I'm just carefully blending on a little bit. I don't want to be too forceful or I'm going to bend my word. And if you want to give your words a little bit more sturdiness or bulk, you can always cut several layers and glue them together to get them to pop up a little bit more and be a little bit more sturdy. So I'm using my smart glue as just regular glue now, just putting a few little dots behind my words and my alphabets, and I'm just going to glue it onto my card front. I really like how that inspire kind of pops against the other colors with it being yellow, and I think it looks great. I think these sort of cursive words mix great with all of the other fonts of alphabet dies. So I'm going to go ahead and pop this card front up onto a card base. I'm just going to cut some of this 2-inch wide foam tape from Scrapbook.com, and I find that this tape is really fantastic for popping up your card fronts. It's 2 inches wide, so you can go ahead and, side by side it and get a 4-inch coverage on the back of your card front, or you can even cut it into little strips like I've done there and get some really good coverage. It's really going to support your card front, so as it goes through the mail, it's not going to get squished or sag, and you've got a really fun card. So I did go ahead and put some sentiments on my other 2 cards. I've got You Inspire Me on our little polka dot one that I used the negative. I put Happy B-Day. I thought that was fun. And then our last one here, I put Hello Love. And I thought these were all really fun to do, really fun to add a little bit of that gold foil with the Scrapbook.com smart glue. So I hope you enjoyed these cards. I hope it gave you a little bit of inspiration for your own crafting. And please make sure you check the description below for links to all the products that I've used today. Otherwise, have a great day, everyone, and I will see you next time. Bye!